Most welcome to Humans TV Africa. You are most welcome to Humans TV Africa, and my name is KATO Mukasa, a Ghanaian lawyer interested in issues, human rights, issues progress, issues that do with critical thinking, and of course, development. That's why we are here. Humans TV Africa is a registered NGO. We are a registered charity that works all over the world because we are a virtual network, which means wherever you are, we reach you. You are in the US, you receive Humans TV Africa. You are in Asia, you are going to get us. You are in Africa, wherever you are going to be able to receive us on your tablet, on your television. You can actually connect Humans TV Africa on your very television station and you watch us. Now, we have studios in Kenya, we have studios in Uganda, we have physical studios, of course, in Zimbabwe, Zambia, Nigeria, Ghana, Sierra Leone, USA, and UK. And we are encouraging you to please subscribe to YouTube and our Facebook page. The name is Humans TV Africa. Simply go into Google, put their name, Humans TV Africa. You're going to see all our videos, hundreds of videos, hundreds of shows, very entertaining, educating, and very informative shows there on our channel. Now, I want to also encourage you by inviting you to write to us. Our email is info@humanstvafrica.com. Our WhatsApp number is +254 7473 56767, and our communication officer, spokesperson Brian Kabeko in Kenya will be able to respond to you, and also Dennis in Uganda will be able to give you feedback. Remember, we are looking for volunteers, we are looking for panelists, we are looking for news anchors, we are looking for field workers. You're a student in your third year, you're a law student, you're a mass comm student, you're a journalism student, you are an engineer, you're a doctor, you're a social worker, you're a teacher, you are whatever profession you are. If you're a student, you are an IT student, and you want to get an environment where you can share your talent, where you can actually work with the people that are going to mold you, that are going to mentor you, that are going to expose you to the world, this is the channel to join. Come, get disciplined, come work with us, and trust me, you will be able to reach far by tapping into the expertise, the experience we shall be able to give you. Remember, if you want to join us, the email is right there. If you want to come share with us, come challenge our thoughts process, we are welcoming you. If you want to feature in any program, we are welcoming you. Simply write to us and we shall give you a program. We shall not charge you any shilling, any coin, any amount of money. We shall simply invite you and you'll be able to talk with the world. No charges are going to be placed on you. We simply give you a platform and you'll be able to convey your message to the public. Now, this is Humans TV Africa. Our purpose, our aim, our mission is to inform, educate, and sensitize, empower, and inspire our people, and then put them on the right path of critical thinking. Now, today, we are having KATO and the Gang, and of course, KATO and the Gang is a show that talks about politics, religion, and economics. Politics, economics, and religion. We basically put the emphasis, which is Africa. Today, something different. We are handling religion from a different angle. And of course, in the studio is my brother from the land of the Tarok people, the Nigerian guy, San Nandip Bongfa, who is always there to share ideas. You see, I used to belong to a party called the Democratic Party. I used to belong to a party called Democratic Party, and we used to do like this. But still, this is peace. And that is it. So we are here with Nandip Bongfa, and of course, we have Emmanuel Mambu. Nandip is from Ghana, I mean Nigeria. Emmanuel Mambu is from Sierra Leone. And of course, we have Nana Kufo from Ghana. And of course, we normally have, once in a while, have Brian Kabeko from Nairobi, Kenya, and Peter Bilimi from Uganda. So the gang is quite big. Every time we keep on having panels here and there, and the gang is always here to share with you. Now, today's topic is religion, logic, and rationale. The religion, logic, and rationale. This is episode 1. Now, we are going to be interrogating what is the religion? Now, does the religion work hand in hand with logic? Does it work hand in hand with rationale? The religion, logic, and rationale. I always follow my brother's post on Facebook, Nandip. Nandip actually has a segment on Facebook which says the contradictions in the Bible. In fact, this show borrows from that kind of angle. If there are contradictions in the Bible, it means there's no logic. There's no coherence. If there are contradictions in the Bible or the Quran, it means there's no rationale. Rationale goes hand in hand with critical thinking, reasoning. That's rationale. Logic goes hand in hand with common sense, goes hand in hand with philosophy, deductive reasoning, analytical reasoning. That is logic in brief. Logic is about reasoning and putting issues on a standard of a measure of truth. Is this true? Does it make sense? Then we say, is it logical? So when we say, is it logical? We are asking questions. Is it valid? Does it make sense? So we're going to be asking ourselves, religion, logic, and rationale, do they move together? If you check the page of Nandip, we're going to be seeing posts to do with contradictions. Once they say the word contradictions, it means there's a bit of questioning. That here they are saying A, and here they are saying B, and they don't match. But they want us to believe that they are the same. So we ask ourselves, is this logical? Then we say, no, wait a minute, there's a problem here. So welcome to Studio Nandip, and may you please go ahead and greet our viewers and set the pace for this discussion.
Thank you, Comrade Katu, for this topic, and Brian and Dennis, and all of our viewers all over the world. And the topic today is religion, logic, and rationale. My name is Nandip Andrew Bongfa. So let's look at what is called religion. Religion is a belief of something that you don't even see, know or touch. Religion is all about fiction of something that doesn't even exist, but human beings think that yes, that these things actually exist, and this thing, when you believe in it and you pray over it and you think about it and you fast over it, you're going to get your result, which is not right. there's what is called logic too. Let's talk about the creation. In the book of Genesis, there's a lot of contradiction about religion, of which doesn't go into logic, science, or reason at all. One aspect of the book of Genesis, it says bird is created from the sea. How can bird created from the sea? Another aspect of the Genesis also talked about the creation. He said birds are created from the land. Now, how do bird created? Human being or bird are not created. They are, given birth to. It's a long process of what? Evolution. Things about creation is never a real thing or in reality. A logical human being knows that bird, animals, and human beings, we are not created. We are given birth to from their parent, that is, or ancestral lineage. That brings about what? Birth, that is, come into existence. Not the definition that the religion gives to us. Any other religion you talked about creation, it gives you that about a religion, it gives you something about what? Creation. What is creation? That is to make you create. That is to make something out of nothing. In real logical and scientific way of doing things, that didn't apply in a logical thinking or in a scientific way of doing things. So human being, we are not created. Bird, we are not created, but we are given birth to. That is aside. And then when you go to more further about in the book of Genesis 2, you will discover a lot of contradiction about religions, how they put things in perspective. And when you reason about it critically, you think about it, and you use science to reason it, you discover that all things that the religions people are telling their followers is all false, and doesn't make any sense to a reasonable human being or person. But they follow us because they have been kind of brainwashed and make them think that yes, that's how it is. They will still believe in it, and they still have that faith in that thing or what the pastor told them. Yesterday we talked about the God men of Africa. So these people with their so-called Bible, they use all those kind of logic, that is religious logic, of which doesn't make sense to a real person that thinks very critically. But the populace or the followers of this religion, whether Islam or Christianity, believe in lies, believe in fantasy, believe in something that they think, yes, that God can do that. Because if you tell them that there's no God, it's a problem to you. But we have to continue to be saying that, to educate them, to enlighten them, to make them understand that there is no God that created any other thing or created us. We are a product of what? Evolution. That is logical in the real sense of things. Now, if you go to the New Testament and then you check, you will see that there's a lot of also contradiction there. It talks about Jesus Christ when he comes to the world, and then people from the east came to visit him, and then the shepherd also came to visit him. Now, and then a lot of people celebrate his coming. And then what we have that in December 21st as his own birthday. The contradiction here is now, during his death and resurrection, purportedly resurrection in quote, that he appeared to some few individuals. A woman, which other claim that if he actually existed, is his wife or a girlfriend. They call her Mary Magdalene, of which she also, wash his legs, kisses it. What kind of man of God is that allowed a woman to touch him and be kissing him? During his resurrection, according to the Bible, appear to her, some few others, and some of his disciples, and then boom, he disappear into thin air to heaven. Where is heaven? There's no heaven anywhere. Up there is called sky, and people doesn't want to know that because they are not logical. They don't reason. They don't think. You see, this kind of thinking is not in a logical manner in how things works. So Jesus Christ that appears and come, everybody knows that, yes, and people celebrated last month, December 25. And when his death, according to the Bible, only you can see the post now. I do not believe that Muhammad flew to heaven on a wing also for a very same reason. I don't believe that Jesus Christ floated to heaven without one. Of course, these people, they are just cooking up stories, and many people, because they believe in fantasy, they believe in lies, they accept that Jesus Christ went into heaven. There's no thing called heaven in the first place, to cry it out loud. And in Islamic perspective, Muhammad, how can a horse fly to where? To heaven. Also, a horse doesn't develop wing. Although we see some of the Nollywood, Hollywood movie, you see that a horse is a actor riding on a horse, which is also a fake or a fantasy too. So Jesus Christ, let me go back to our topic. Jesus Christ, when he's going back to heaven, purported heaven that never existed, he only secretly went back to the heaven. He didn't appear to Cephas, the person that crucified him, and the Roman people that and the Jewish that asked him to be crucified. But he secretly what? Went to heaven. That's what the Bible says. He could have shown his power and his might and his authority, that he has come back from the dead. So you see, those people that wrote this book called Bible, they are not logical in their thinking, because they are primitive, they are daft, and then they copy from the ancient religious book and then paste it, and our generation believe in it. So religion is nothing that is not something that we in our generation X should believe in it and support in it and then make use of it. These things never comes in real life. We should think logical. We should think logically and rationally as human beings. Thank you,
Thank you, thank you, sir.
Yes,
thank you, the gatekeeper of Tarot culture, Nande Bongfa. Of course, on the screen is that important image. I like it because it's a revolutionary. They say they built their heaven on our land. Then they told us we was somewhere in the sky. Does it make logic? Someone comes from Europe, who comes forever, and comes to your country, Sierra Leone, comes to Ghana, comes to Nigeria, comes to my country, Uganda, and take our minerals, take our resources, take everything from us, and tells you, please kneel down and pray, because they was in the heaven. But this one, the minerals are for us. For us, we know how to use them. For you, please keep quiet. Pray to God. God is going to bless you. What kind of twats are we Africans? Anyway, let us welcome our brother from Sierra Leone, Emily Mambo. Mambo is wearing these things like a DJ. I think because I'm backward, I'm very, very conservative. I don't do things, but let us welcome this young man, Emily Mambo, to tell us why he has wings on his ears. So, Mambo.
Yes, thank you, Senior Comrade KATO. It's a very nice topic because yesterday I asked a question. I was expecting that somebody will go to our comment section and throw a challenge for a debate. And that question is still on. I want to know the meaning of man of God because I cannot understand it. And then talking about those who wrote the Bible and the logic, there's a lot of questions that I really have about the Bible. Now, they said in the Bible, it is written there that Satan was one of the angels of God, and he was even second in command. And because God created man, and God asked Satan to bow before man, and Satan rejected that I will not bow before the man that you've created. And that was the reason why God drove Satan from heaven. And Satan asked God that, oh, I don't want to go anywhere. Please, you have to make a place for me so that I will stay according to the Bible. And then Satan also on earth is in the form of a snake. Now, my question is, a snake does not walk, does not have a feet to walk on. A snake does not have a hand. So how did that snake manage to pluck an apple and give it to Eve to eat? I really need an answer for that also. Yeah, because something is missing there. A snake is crawl on its belly. It doesn't have a hand, no feet to walk on. So how will a snake pluck an apple, eat from it, and then give it to Eve and say, Eve, taste from this apple? So that I don't understand. It doesn't match. That story doesn't actually work. It doesn't match because you telling me Satan is a snake, and then even in the Bible you can see Satan in the form of a snake, and also in this Bible there is also a place where they say Satan took Jesus on top of a high building and asked Jesus to come from up the building down. I think Satan should also know that according to the Bible that Jesus is the Son of God. So there is no need for Satan to tempt Jesus. Satan should be aware that Jesus already is the Son of God. So there was no need for temptation. There was no need because Satan already was an angel in heaven. This Satan is driven, and Satan was in existence since Adam and Eve were alive. So Satan should already know that Jesus, there is gonna be a son being born by Mary called Jesus. So if Satan has been existing since the time of creation, and Jesus was just born somewhere, Satan should already know that okay, there is gonna be a son of God. So there was no need for temptation. And then how did Satan actually took Jesus up a building and asking Jesus to come down from the building if actually he is the Son of God? So it doesn't also tally there. There is actually a lot of fiction. And then coming to men of so-called men of God of these days who actually exploit money from people in the name of God. Like these people are actually enriching themselves, building up, hooking up stories to people that oh, this is what you should do, this is what you should, but they are not doing it. So it's like saying, do as I say, or don't do as I do. Because they are saying it for you to do it, but they are not doing it. They are not even living the life. Look at the BBC report, BBC documentary about TB Joshua. People who are living with him. Have you actually sit down in your quiet time and actually watch this documentary? And then here you have followers crying up and down that those stories were cooked up. Cook up from where? So the logic they are actually using, or these stories they are actually saying, like it's not only in the Bible, also in the Quran. In the Quran, it is only in the Quran that you see blessings are being mentioned. You have 1,000, you have 500, you have 600. If you do this, you have 1,000 blessings. If you do this, you have 2,000 blessings. If you do this, you have 3,000 blessings. who actually is it that God actually informed them that if you do this, it means you have 3,000 blessings? I see in Islam, there was a time I asked a friend of mine who is a tabligh, and he is very religious in the Islamic way. And then the friend, I asked him, why do you keep your beard? Because the beards were so many that it was on his chest. And the only reason he gave me was according to the Quran, that if you keep your beard, when you hold your ablution, if the water stick in your beard, any drop of that water from your beard, you have 1,000 blessings. Any drop of that water from your beard, you have 1,000 blessings. And he told me that is the reason why he keeps his beard. That whenever he holds ablution, and after that ablution, any drop of water from his beard is 1,000 blessings for him. Then I told him, you don't need to pray again because you already have thousands of blessings. Already you have the beard. So you just in taking ablution and just sit down. Don't do any other thing. So those stories are just cook up. They are actually cook up. And I sometimes wonder, how do people actually, they don't even sit and think about these things, that these things are actually cooked up. It's not even matching. If I could sit down, like I said, I sit down and think, how did Satan pluck an apple, give it to Eve to eat? Then why did God not punish Satan, but rather punish Eve and Adam according to their story? Because in fact, Satan is the cause of the whole thing. If Satan had plucked this apple, so is it that God allows Satan to eat the apple without no punishment? But did he allow Adam and Eve to eat from this apple? If they eat from the apple, they will get punishment. But Satan will eat from it, and there is no punishment for him. So these are questions that I really, really need answers for. It is confusing, and I think the logic there didn't actually match. The way they coil it did not match for critical thinkers. It only matches for those who are actually their whole head is in religion. Everything about them is in religion. So that is my submission for now.
Thank you very much, Honorable Mambo. That was a good one. Honorable Mambo is from Sierra Leone and was giving us his own analysis of the topic of the day. We're talking about religion, logic, and rationale. Religion, logic, and rationale. We're asking ourselves, if you are really religious, are you logical? Are you logical in viewing these things? If you're really religious, are you rational in appreciating the religion? Remember, I was asking you questions to do with the snake. If you look at the Bible and you look at the snake, and someone tells him, Eve was tempted by the snake, it means about four things. Number one, that the snake was intelligent enough to deceive a person. The intelligence of the snake, it has a brain that actually is much better than that of a person to think and reason. Number two, because it means that the snake thinks and reason better than a human being. Number two, that a snake can talk. Number three, that the snake at one time had hands and maybe legs. Maybe a snake was like a crocodile because it had to pick the apple and then taste it and then say, Eve, you can also have a piece. This is a very good thing. So this is what Mambu is bringing out. That when you look at the first story in Genesis, there was a snake, and the snake was cunning, and the snake tempted Eve, and Eve ate the forbidden fruit. It means the snake had all those qualities. It was intelligent, it was speaking, it was walking, and it had hands, among others. Now we ask ourselves, What happened to the snake? How did it lose its speaking ability? How did it lose its reasoning? Because it must have been very intelligent like a person. Where did the hands go? Which snake are we talking about? So now logic comes in, because logic allows you to put on test what the dogma claims. The religion is dogma. They give you a theory and you must accept it. They give you a narrative and you must accept it. They give you a theme and you must accept it. Don't question. That is the religion. Now, Mambo brings in that aspect of, wait a minute, let us look at the snake. Now, as we go on discussing, this is going to be episode 1. Thank you very much, Dennis. We are going to have different episodes because the Bible and the Quran are two very contradicting books. I call them books of absurdities. Look at this one now. Genesis 2:17. God told Adam that he would die on the day that he ate from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Genesis 2:17. Here is the contradiction. Adam lived for 930 years. Look at Genesis 5, line 5. Now, who is telling a lie? Is God lying here? God has told Adam, once you eat, you are going to die. Adam eats the fruit and actually lives for 9,930 years. That's obscene. Today, who lives for even 200 years? I wish I was in that garden. I would have eaten 10 apples, not even one. Because if Adam had eaten 10 apples and obeyed God 10 times, would have lived for 9,300 years. Because for obeying and eating only one apple, the guy lived for 930 years. Look what the stupidity in the Bible, honestly. You are promising to punish me. At the same time, you are giving me so much in life. And Adam, from eating the fruit, he actually produced children that became the favored children of God. Now, how did God punish Adam? Is the question. When we are saying the holy ones, the holy tribes, and the others are coming from the lineage of Adam. All of them are coming from the lineage of Adam. So the question is, how did God punish Adam? The man lived for 930 years. The man had children who became favorite of God. Abraham comes from Adam. That kind of lineage. So how did God punish Adam? Adam disobeys God. Adam goes ahead and eats the forbidden fruit, but God blesses Adam. So how did God punish Adam? So this theme for today is religion, logic, and rationale. We are going to be examining the Quran. The moment we start examining the Quran, you guys are going to run away. This is one part of it. This is the Quran now we are looking at. Look what in the Quran says this, that in the Quran, God promises men, because a Quran is a book of misogyny. The Quran is a book of misogyny. Is a sexist book. In the Quran, God promises Muslim men 72 women upon death. If you're a Muslim man and you die for Allah, you kill infidels, you go and do all those crimes, killing people in the name of Allah, the Quran has promised you 72 women, possibly virgins in heaven. And actually the Quran and the culture of the Muslims, they must keep their women covered from head to toe. The burqa, they must be covered. Yet when they die, they are going to meet naked, half-naked women, and God is going to give them 72 virgins in heaven. Now, who is fooling who? Is the Quran logical in promising their men 72 virgins in heaven? The question I've been asking always is, if the Quran is promising men 72 virgins in heaven, what is the Quran promising women? What is the Quran promising women? Are women supposed to be taken as toys, as chattel, as playstations, as commodities, as goodies to exchange? What is it in the Quran that is for women, that favors women? Now, if you are a Muslim and a radical one watching us, may you please answer this one for me. In your Quran, as the Quran promises your Muslim men 72 virgins upon death for Allah, what does the Quran promise the woman to get? Does it promise the woman to be married to a man having 72 wives? Is that the share the woman gets out of Islam? Logic, rationale, and the region. The theme for today is, do these two match? Look at slavery. Our people were enslaved in Europe. Our people were enslaved in the USA for 400 years. And we ask ourselves, where was God? In addition to this, the people who enslaved our people used Jesus Christ as a justification for slavery, used the Bible as a justification for slavery. In fact, the Bible has lines that promote slavery. Dennis has those lines. We shall be seeing them as we move on. The Bible has lines, verses that justify slavery. The ship which took people into slavery was named Jesus. You can Google it. The name of the biggest ship that was docking in West Africa to take slaves from Africa to Europe, to US, the name of that ship was called Jesus. Now, if the enslavers were using Jesus to enslave our ancestors, is Jesus for us? Mambu always asks these questions. Then thank you so much. The slave ship called Jesus took our people through this voyage, the Hawkins voyage. The ship was called Jesus, and it took our ancestors into slavery. And the Bible, the ship is there. The impression is there. This is historical. You can go and search it. They used Jesus Christ to enslave our people, Mambu. Mambu, your relatives were taken as slaves in the USA. Sierra Leone is a product of those slaves coming back. The Creoles, Liberia, Sierra Leone are products of these slaves coming back, slaves who were taken to America and suffered like beasts of burden and said, enough is enough, we are going back home in Africa. Sierra Leone is born out of that. That's why we have the free town. Liberia, Monrovia, the history is clear. The history is slavery in America. The ship that took our ancestors to the USA was called Jesus. Religion, therefore, and Christianity per se, is a religion of imperials. I will speak that without fear or favor. Christianity is a religion of imperials. Is a religion that promotes imperialism. Is a religion that promotes slavery. Is a religion that promotes racism. It has never been a religion for us. I will speak that without a shade of doubt. It was used, it was hijacked, whatever it was done. Christianity was used to enslave our people. And they used the Bible to justify slavery. I'll be showing you biblical verses that simply justify slavery. They tell you, servants, slaves, obey your masters because your masters are God given in the Bible. The Bible justifies slavery. Now tell me, why would a Katomukasa be a Christian when the enslavers used Christianity to enslave my ancestors? Why would a Katomukasa be a Muslim when the Arabs used Islam to take my people into slavery? When our people who go to Saudi Arabia, who go to these Arab countries, are treated like fourth class citizens, not even second class, not even third class. They are treated like fourth class citizens in these countries. And then you were telling me you are a Muslim. Since when I am Muslim? I am Muslim because we are born in a Muslim family? Or I am Muslim because we are simply following a bandwagon? Or I am Muslim because it's a culture to be a Muslim? Nana, over to you. Mambo, over to you. Back into the discussion.
Yes, like you are saying, it's another great question. Are you a Muslim because, like, like me, I was a Christian because I was born in a Christian family. But being a Christian, I actually didn't see anything that will actually was actually tangible in being a Christian. Because even these stories, like now that I have the time to sit and think critically about all those false stories that were explained to us in the name of preaching to us, I now know that they were false and baseless because this Bible was what they used to come to Africa and enslave our people. They, they condemn our culture, they condemn our traditions in the name of Bible to adopt their own system of life and took our people into slavery. Like you were saying, we are the product, like me, I am a product. And they never came back to apologize for what they did. And we are here. In fact, it is so critical that even the God, the angels, the Jesus itself, everybody has a white color, not black. All the prophets, you do your research, all the prophets were white, not black. So that also is another thing. That will just tell you that it is their God. And even this religion or this Christianity or what, it is being divided. You see, the Romans call it, they have their own church. They call it the Roman Catholic. They are very poor, they call it Roman Catholic. And you see Sierra Leoneans going there and say, I'm attending a Roman Catholic church, I'm a Roman Catholic Christian. How will you be a Roman Catholic Christian when you are not a Roman? How will you be an Orthodox? Because you don't even know where this religion, this so-called religion or these churches are coming from. You are not even being considered, and then you spend your hard-earned money. You get your qualification, and then you apply for a job. After you got the job, your first salary, you rush to the church and say, Pastor, eat this money for me. I was living with a lady back home. The lady, after several years, over 7 years after graduation, she didn't got the job. The day she got the job, her first salary, what she did, before she would go and give it to her parents, she went to the church and give it to the pastor and said, Pastor, I now have a job. This is my first salary. Take it. And then the pastor took the money and the pastor ate it. And she was there asking for money to survive again for the other end of the month. because she has handed everything to the pastor. That was what the pastor told her, that your first salary you should give it to God. And who is this God? The pastor is the God. She hand over all her money. Then you will see somebody involved in an accident, and then they take that person to a hospital. The doctor will spend over 6 or 7 hours trying to make that person have the life that he or she is supposed to have. And after the healing, after everything, after the medication, the person will run to church and say, Pastor, it was your prayer that healed me from that hospital. I went through an operation, and the operation was successful. It was your prayer. And then the pastor will take the glory and say, Yes, it is because of my prayer. So these are just things that I actually don't see I don't see the logic there. How will I be sick and then taking my medication, taking my treatment, going to a doctor for treatment, and then after I'm healed, I'll rush to the church. Before I go back to that doctor and say, Doctor, thank you for what you did for me. And then I'll go to the church and say, Pastor, I want to give all the glory to God. It was your prayer that healed me. I was in the hospital, I was admitted for 1 month. I went through this and that and that, but I'm here today to give God all the glory. I see it's very funny. It is very, very funny. So the doctor and your pastor who actually need you. Of course, otherwise, when you were sick, you should have run to the hospital, to the pastor, and don't take any medication. So this is the Africa for us. We actually don't sit and think, where did this religion came from? The Christianity, the Islam, none of them. That one is from Saudi Arabia. This one is from, I don't even know where Christianity came from, whether it's from Israel or wherever. But again, these are questions that we really, really need to ask ourselves. You see, according to religious people, they are all powerful God. They are all powerful God, can do all things, and has enemies called Satan. He can't defeat. Of course, he said, in fact, you say God is all powerful, is omnipotent, is omniscient. And then there's an enemy called Satan. And then there's hell, there's a place called hell. So why did Adam did he go to hell direct? Because Adam disobeyed God. Adam ate the forbidden fruit. So Adam shouldn't have lived for 930 years. Straight away, Adam will have died and then go to hell direct. The snake that brought sin into the world through Adam and Eve was taken into the ark to save it from the flood. And if you look at all animals you are taking two, male and female. And then if this snake was actually the one that caused sin, the one that caused man to suffer, the one that caused women to go through labor pain, according to the Bible, why would this same snake will save? Why should he save the snake? Why was the snake saved? So there's a lot of things contradicting in the Bible. When I read in Matthew 7, verse 7, says, Matthew 7:21 says, not everyone who says, Lord, Lord, shall enter the kingdom of heaven, but he who does the will of the Father. Who is the Father? He said, not everyone who said, Lord, Lord, shall enter the kingdom of heaven. Matthew 7:21. But he who does the will of the Father. And then, verse 8, 9.
I'm going to stop you there.
And then, in continuation to that verse, we say, on that day, they will say to me, Lord, Lord, have I not prophesied in your name and done many wonders? And then the Lord will say, depart from me, you people.
Yes, and Nana, we are going to stop. No. Mambo, we are going to stop you there. Mambo is from Sierra Leone. Let us have Nana from Ghana. Nana, it's your time now to give us your shot. We are talking about religion, logic, and rationale. Does the religion accept logic? Does the religion accept rationale? Can we be rational and also religious? Can we be logical but also religious? That's the question of the day. This is episode one. That is Nana Popo from Ghana. Nana.
Thank you, my senior comrade, Katu. Thank you. Religion is the deliberate attempt to avoid logic. It is very deliberate to avoid logic, to avoid reality, and it is being created by greedy people, usually to control the masses. In this way, the priest and the king are both in tandem together, creates a religion so that they can use it to overrule their people. So every religion is meant to grease a certain society, to make the society more more acceptable than logical, because the moment the people of that particular society become more reasonable, more logic, then they will know their leaders don't have any right to lord over them. These leaders doesn't have any exclusive right to be leaders. That is why the monarchical system have been an ancient system even till this recent times, because the monarchical system is usually backed by religion. So if you go to or if you study any religious grouping, it is linked up with the ruling system of the party in this of the place or of the community. In this place, religion is a political tool, and in accepting that we have logical reasoning to back religion, I am yet to see even a single example of logic backing religion. One aspect of it is people assume religion is people assume religion is helps people or assists people to have a meaningful life, which logically is false, because it can give you a sort of meaning in this world, but this sort of meaning is based on a premise which is false, and that has always been because my mom is very religious, and today my mom called me today, and he called me about the work I am doing on Humanist TV, and I knew what have gone on, why the reason why she was calling me, and she thinks I'm a lost son, I'm a lost sheep. So as the shepherd left the 99 sheep to look for the other one sheep, she thinks I'm too important to be lost to hell. So in this case, she thinks she has a genuine case to make me toe the line of this religious lineage our parents have passed through. So she thinks it's logical, but the fact that my mom is crying over a spilled milk doesn't mean I should continue to make her happy. I should make her happy and tell her, "Oh, mom, right now I accept Jesus as my Lord and personal Savior, and I want to be religious." No, if that will be the reality and she will cry, then she have to cry, because in the future I know maybe she also can be more reasonable and see the other side and say, wow, that was why my son Apeje was acting this way. I want her also to have understanding of where I am coming from, not me understanding where she is coming from, because I have been through what she is now feeling. I've been a Christian before. She has never been an atheist before. So she has to be in my shoes to understand me. I have been in her shoes before. So if you use this sentimental what agape love, mommy love, to come and confuse me for me to accept your religion. Mom, it doesn't work. Mommy, it doesn't work. Because logic, reality, reasoning is far more appreciable to me than a mommy's love. I hope my senior comrade, or I'm being sadistic, my comrade,
Mm.
or am I being sadistic?
No, you're okay. You're
Yeah, oh,
okay.
yes. I'm not trying to make my mom cry or no, but that is the fact and that is the reality. And I'm hoping that one day she will also accept what I am saying. So it is now a battle of me and her religion and my logic. So religion, logic, religion and logic can marry together because religion is indoctrination. Religion is really once you eat the fruit from the tree of knowledge, religion becomes useless. Yes, it is true. Because the reason why I became an atheist in the first place was I became knowledgeable. I read hundreds of books. I started reading so many books, and it was not possible for me to be religious again. It was not possible for me to believe that Jesus walked on water. It was not possible for me that this earth was created within 6 days, because there are facts and figures, documented evidence that our earth, our planet is more than 4.5 billion years. And you are coming to tell me it is 6,000 years. And we have people who lived around those times, and one of them lived for over 962 years. I should believe that. You want me to believe this ridiculous story that a woman was taken from a man? A woman was taken from a man. A rape of a man turned into a woman. And Adam didn't have navel. Adam didn't have navel because he wasn't born. And what do you want to tell me? You want to take me as a fool? No. I only believe that if I am religious, I am under the influence of fear. I will only believe that if I am under the influence of fear. If I fear a super most high monster who, if I don't believe that monster will kill me, then because of that monster, I have to believe. Because most of what Christians and other religious believe, it is true fear. Religion operates by fear. There is this super daddy who is looking everywhere, wanting to kill one of somebody who is not obeying him. So it is based on fear. It is not based on reasoning or logic or love, as they claim. Jesus is love, God is love, and that. No.
I'll stop
If
you there.
stop me, or I'm going to. I'm going.
Because you have begun quarreling with the region, and I know how important this topic is.
Yes.
Sadly, our time is over. We basically have 1 minute and 20 seconds. I can see Nandipu is saying, wow, I've just begun. I'm just warming up. Sorry for you, sir, and our time is over. But I want to say that let us give Nandip 2 minutes. We're going to borrow some 10 minutes. Let us give Nandip 2 minutes, and then we shall give the rest of us 1 minute, and then we shall conclude this. This topic is going to be continuous. This is episode 1. Trust me, we are going to talk about the Bible and its foolishness. We are going to expose the Quran and its foolishness. Look at this image. Jacob wrestled with God the whole night, and Jacob won God. Don't you think God is a twat? God must be a weakling. It's in the Bible.
He was drunk
It's in
around
the
that
Bible.
time.
How can a man defeat God? Which type of God is this Christian God? He must be a useless God. A man called Jacob wrestled with God, boxed God, kicked God, God cried, and God died. Go and read the Bible. You say I'm an atheist, but I'm telling you, this God must be a weakling, because how could Jacob beat God? Jacob wrestled with God, Jacob put God down, and Jacob defeated God. So when I say God is dead, you say I'm telling a lie. Read your Bible. Nandip.
Yes, thank you so much, Comrade Katu. Nana, I was just laughing. You really can make me to laugh myself out. Yes, you're caught. Dennis have to carry this from you. You said, I've been a Christian before, and my mother has never been an atheist before. She will not understand the logic. This really sunk into my head, and I started laughing. That's the truth. Religion and logic never meet together, and they can never meet in any way. Now, look at this now. Can you marry your sister? No, marriage or what do you call cohabitation with a sister is what? Denounced and sinful. That is Deuteronomy 27, 22, and then Leviticus also 20 and 17. But Abraham married his sister, and that is complete contradiction in this fucking thing called the Bible. This is what we are talking about, and the Christian will not even understand these things. And when you go to the Quran, you will see that more contradiction and foolishness is there. The same thing with the Bible and the same thing with the Quran too. But I don't know much about the Quran because I just read about it, because I've never been a Muslim before. I was a Christian before. The same way Nana
Say bye-bye.
just said. Yes.
Nana, Nandip, say bye-bye.
Yes. Thank you. I it's network. So bye to everyone. I appreciate everyone that is here. Let's continue again, and then keep subscribing, keep sharing, and keep watching Humanist TV Africa.
All of you slaves, obey your masters. Slaves, you slaves, Nandip the slave, Nana the slave, Mango the slave, please, you must obey your masters. The Bible commands you to obey your masters. I'm telling you.
I am the master.
Yeah, so, Mambo, the Bible tells you to obey your masters because you guys are slaves. Slaves, people, obey your masters. Ephesians 6, line 5. Go and read the book of Ephesians 6, line 5. It tells you, slave, obey your earthly master with respect and fear and sincerity of heart, just as you would obey me. Jesus is good with slavery. Jesus loves slavery. God loves slavery. Those are not my words. They are in your damn Bible. Nandip, I have data on the Quran. The day will come here and expose how stupid the Quran is. Guys are going to run away. But let us go to Mambu. Mambu, please, your conclusion.
Yes. Let me conclude with this. The Bible says God created Adam. Yes, according to the Bible, God created Adam. And God took the rib of Adam to create Eve. Why? Why would God create Adam and take something from Adam again to create Eve? Why? So I need an answer for that. It does not match there. If God created Adam, it should have been the same way to create Eve, but not to take the ribs again from Adam to create Eve.
Then
if I create this thing, I don't need to take
that image. Then go show us that image you are talking about. The image of Eve delivering in a special way. I mean, being got from Adam, and yet Adam was created by God. So the question you are asking is, why didn't God use the same method to produce Eve?
Yes.
Mambo, continue.
Why not create the same? Yes. So why not create? Why, if you create Adam, then it means you don't need anything from Adam again to create Eve. The same way you created Adam, you should have created Eve the same way, but not take the rib again. And then men are even boasting about these things. Oh, women, they created women for us according to the fiction written there. So it baffles me. So now let
And
me end with this. Not every, Let me end with this. Not everyone who say Lord, Lord, that will enter the kingdom of God. Not everyone who say Lord, Lord. So who is sure that he or she is going to heaven through prayers? Are you sure? Because the same Bible has told you that not everyone that say Lord, Lord, or Jesus, or whosoever you call, that will go to heaven. So are you sure that you are going to heaven? Is your pastor even sure that he is going to heaven? Is your prophet even sure that he is also going to heaven? Think about this, and we come tomorrow with it. This is Humanist TV Africa, and my name is Emmanuel Mambu. Thank you.
thank you, Mambu. Thank you, Mambu, so much. Nana, close the show. Nana, Nana, are you in a pause or what? Nana, if you hear us, please close the show or I will close it. Now, Mambu was asking very pertinent questions, which we are going to be able to answer in episode 2. Of course, Nandip left us with so many important questions. Nana was raising an issue of a parent, which also Nandip raised. And Nandip was right, because me, I stopped arguing with my mother about 15 years ago in regard to my atheism. I gave up with my mother because my mother is now 78 years, perhaps even 80 now. And there's no way you can argue with her because she's stuck. And she's right. Because I respect my mother, there's no way I can even go there and we begin arguing about God. If she says, I'm praying for you, I say, thank you very much. If she says, I'm going to heaven, I say, yes, you're going to heaven. Why should I be arguing with my mother? She's old, she's gone, and she has hope in her heaven. If the missionaries gave her heaven, because my mother was trained by the missionaries, she's almost 80. She was trained by those missionaries who came to Uganda, and she was trained as a nurse. So why should I be arguing with my mother who's almost 80, and I tell her, Mom, there's no God? That would be an insult. I'll be insulting my mother. For her, she's stuck, there is a God. Who am I to tell her there's no God? I leave my no God to myself, and she stays with her, there is a God. And she's happy, she knows she's going to heaven, so be it. Why should I be quarreling with my mother? So that's it. Thank you so much for tuning in. We are going to be here tomorrow, same time. See you. Keep your hope alive. See you in the next one.